He came every night just for coffee. She had no idea he was the lonely CEO. Millionaire, single dad. The rain tapped softly against the windows of Bean and Brush, a small cafe nestled in the heart of Seattle, its warm yellow lights casting a gentle glow over the abstract paintings adorning the walls. Maya Larson, 26, her golden hair pulled back loosely, wiped down the barista counter with a practiced hand. Her smile was bright, but behind it lingered a quiet sadness in her eyes, an ache from a love lost long ago, a love she felt she had pushed away with her obsession for art. The door chimed, and Ethan Caldwell stepped inside, wearing a simple jacket that hid the polished image seen on magazine covers. The exhaustion behind his eyes was real, but there was a softness as he scanned the room and chose a secluded corner. He approached the counter and ordered an espresso. Maya, distracted by the unfinished painting on the wall, a burst of colors and shapes still forming in her mind, carelessly knocked the cup, sending dark liquid spilling onto Ethan's jacket. "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I will pay for your cleaning," Maya exclaimed, cheeks flaming with embarrassment. Ethan chuckled lightly, brushing off the mishap with a warm smile. "It's just a jacket. But you look like you were painting something in your head. Want to tell me about it?" Maya flushed, looking down before shyly replying, "I'm not very good at telling stories. I'm better at making messes, like spilling coffee." Ethan's eyes crinkled at the corners, a genuine warmth in his voice. "Sometimes messes are the best beginnings." His gaze drifted toward the large, abstract painting hanging behind her. "Did you paint that one?" Maya nodded, her voice dropping slightly. "Yes, but I stopped painting a long time ago. Nobody seemed to care." Ethan leaned in, sincerity in his tone. "I care." The simple truth hit Maya unexpectedly, leaving her momentarily speechless. Her heart fluttered, a rare warmth breaking through her guarded exterior. As the evening wore on, Ethan quietly steadied a wobbling shelf behind the counter, careful not to draw attention. Maya noticed his delicate care, sensing his genuine kindness. When Ethan left, he slipped a generous tip onto the counter, with a small note that read, "Your coffee may be messy, but your art is not." Maya's smile grew as she held the note, feeling seen for the first time in years. From outside, Ethan glanced back at the softly lit cafe, feeling an unfamiliar warmth spreading in his chest. The rain continued its gentle fall, echoing the loneliness both carried within. Yet tonight, under the amber glow of Bean and Brush, a fragile connection had begun to form. Inside, Maya watched him go, the soft patter of rain outside reflecting the quiet solitude she felt inside her soul. After Ethan left the cafe, Maya stood by the window, watching the rain gently fall outside. Her mind drifted to the memories she carried. Memories of a past love she lost because she was too consumed by her art. Once a promising art student, she had dropped out, burdened by guilt and self-doubt, now working as a barista to pay off her tuition fees. Yet she still found solace in the small sketchbook she carried everywhere, quietly filling its pages with drawings no one would see. Ethan, meanwhile, was more than just the quiet man who visited every night. He was a single father, devoted to his two children, Emma, a shy 10-year-old with a love for painting but a fear her work was never good enough, and Liam, a lively 6-year-old with dreams of becoming a superhero. Since losing his wife in a tragic car accident 5 years ago, Ethan had poured himself into building Luxwear, a successful fashion empire. But beneath the wealth and status, he was a man haunted by loneliness, fiercely guarding his family's privacy from the relentless spotlight. Tonight, as Ethan called Emma from the cafe, Maya overheard his gentle voice. "Have you finished your painting yet? Dad wants to hang it in his office." The tenderness in his tone made Maya smile softly, reminded of her own father's quiet support, long gone. Standing there, watching Ethan disappear into the rainy night, Maya felt a surprising flutter in her chest, a quiet hope born from the unexpected connection. The raindrops tapped lightly against the window pane, mirroring the gentle ache of loneliness that both of them carried beneath the warm glow of bean and brush. The evening settled gently over Seattle, and bean and brush glowed like a quiet beacon amid the chill of October rain. Ethan had become a familiar figure at the cafe, a constant in the late hours when the city seemed to slow down. Every night, he arrived just as the rain began to soften, ordering the same espresso, bold and strong, before settling into his usual corner, where the warm light softened the weight on his shoulders. Maya found herself looking forward to these nights more than she expected. There was something comforting about Ethan's quiet presence, the way he listened when she talked about her art, and, more surprisingly, shared pieces of his own life. Their conversations were a balm to her soul, weaving threads of connection in a world where she often felt invisible. One evening, as she wiped down the counter, Maya glanced at Ethan and ventured, "I used to think art would save me, that through it I could heal everything, but I ended up hurting the person I loved most because I was too caught up in it." Ethan's gaze softened. "Art doesn't hurt, Maya. It only needs the right eyes to see it. Maybe your pain just hasn't found its audience yet." Her cheeks flushed at his words, a flicker of hope stirring inside. As Ethan reached for his espresso, his hand brushed against a small, worn sketchbook Maya had left open on the counter. Without hesitation, he picked it up and placed it carefully back down, sliding over a new colored pencil. "Don't leave your masterpiece unfinished," he said quietly, eyes meeting hers with sincere encouragement. Maya's breath hitched slightly, the simple act of kindness striking deep. She looked down, hiding a shy smile, feeling a rare sense of being truly understood. That night, their conversation deepened. Ethan spoke of Emma, his 10-year-old daughter, with a shy smile and a love for painting, but who often doubted her own talent, fearful her work wasn't good enough to be seen. Maya listened intently, her heart aching with empathy. "Tell her to keep painting," Maya urged softly. "There will be someone out there who sees the beauty in her brushstrokes, just like I see it in yours." Ethan fell silent for a moment, the weight of her words settling over him. He realized that Maya's kindness was more than just comforting. It was touching places in his heart he thought long closed. Though neither spoke of it aloud, Ethan found himself counting down the hours until he could sit across from Maya again. And Maya, wrapped in the quiet safety of his presence, felt the stirrings of something she hadn't dared to name, convinced Ethan was just a gentle soul, a kind father looking for peace. One rainy evening, Ethan arrived carrying a small rolled canvas. He handed it to Maya with a question in his eyes. "What do you think of Emma's painting?" Maya carefully unrolled the canvas, revealing a soft, tender scene of a sunlit garden, the brushstrokes delicate yet full of hope. "She has a beautiful soul," Maya said, her voice sincere. "The kind that speaks through her art." Outside the cafe door, Emma lingered silently, watching. A small, shy smile crept onto her lips as she overheard Maya's words, her heart swelling with pride and newfound confidence. As the night deepened, the lights inside Bean and Brush dimmed to a warm glow. Maya stood by the window, watching the rain trace shimmering paths down the glass. Her thoughts were wrapped around Ethan, the man whose presence had become a quiet warmth in her life, a steady comfort in a world that often felt cold and uncertain. And for a moment, as the city slept beneath the gentle rain, Maya allowed herself to hope. The cafe was unusually quiet that evening, the usual bustle replaced by a calm stillness that wrapped around Maya and Ethan as they sat across from each other. The dim light cast soft shadows on their faces, creating an intimacy neither had dared to seek before. Outside, the rain had slowed to a gentle drizzle, the steady rhythm barely audible over their hushed conversation. Maya stirred her coffee slowly, her fingers tracing the rim of the cup as she gathered courage to share a piece of her past. "My ex left me because I was too caught up in my art. He said I knew how to paint but not how to love." Her voice trembled slightly, carrying the weight of old wounds. "I was so focused on colors and canvases That I didn't see what was happening to us. Ethan's eyes softened, reflecting a familiar pain. I've made mistakes too, he said quietly. I used to bury myself in work, thinking it was the only way to keep us afloat after my wife passed, but in doing so, I forgot to be there for my kids. It took me years to realize that no business success can replace family. The two sat in a comfortable silence for a moment, the air thick with unspoken understanding. Maya's curiosity pushed her forward, and she asked, "What keeps you so busy? What do you do all day that makes time disappear?" Ethan's smile was gentle but evasive. "I'm just a man who loves coffee and art," he answered, though the heaviness in his eyes betrayed the truth he wasn't ready to share. As the night deepened, a sudden chill swept through the cafe. Maya shivered, wrapping her arms around herself. Noticing, Ethan slipped off his jacket and draped it over her shoulders. "You should keep warm. You'll need your hands steady if you're going to keep painting," he said, his voice soft yet firm. Their eyes met for a fleeting moment, a spark of connection passing between them. Maya's smile was small but genuine, the kind that spoke of trust cautiously given. Later, as Maya reached for her bag, a corner of a glossy magazine peeked out. She hesitated but pulled it free, eyes widening as she saw the familiar face of Ethan grinning confidently beneath the headline, "CEO of Luxwear, the man behind the empire." Her breath caught, a whirlwind of emotions rising within, admiration mixed with a sting of betrayal. She looked up, voice barely a whisper. "You're the CEO? The owner of Luxwear?" Ethan's expression shifted, the weight of secrecy evident. "The weight of secrecy evident, yes," he admitted softly. "I wanted to keep that part of my life separate, for my children's sake mostly. The spotlight isn't kind to them." Maya nodded slowly but felt the ground beneath her shift. At home, she sat before a half-finished canvas, the paint still wet, mirroring the turmoil inside her. Was Ethan's kindness genuine or just pity? The memory of his gentle eyes lingered, stirring her heart in ways she hadn't anticipated. Their connection wasn't just about two adults finding each other. It intertwined with the lives of those little ones who depended on Ethan. One evening, Ethan shared, "Liam loves telling superhero stories. He says I need a hero like you." Maya smiled, touched. "Then let him tell you. Kids need to know their fathers listen." Ethan's eyes glistened with emotion, the weight of fatherhood settling deeper in his heart. Outside, the rain had stopped. Moonlight spilled through the window, casting silvery beams that danced across the floor, just like the conflicting feelings in Maya's heart, caught between doubt and hope. The days after the revelation hung heavy in the air, thick with unspoken words and growing distance. Maya found herself hesitating before entering Bean and Brush, the familiar haven now shadowed by the secret she had uncovered. Ethan's absence only deepened the ache. He had not appeared for several nights. No comforting presence, no shared espresso, no easy conversation. Instead, news had come that Liam was ill, and Ethan was busy caring for his youngest son, the weight of responsibility clear in the silence that settled between them. Maya sat by her small kitchen window, watching raindrops race each other down the glass. The chill in the air matched the turmoil inside her heart. She picked up her phone and dialed Sarah, her closest friend, needing to pour out the tangled feelings she could no longer keep at bay. "He's a CEO," Maya said quietly, her voice trembling. "And I'm just a girl who makes coffee. How can I believe he feels for me? How do I know it's not just pity, like before when my ex thought my art was a joke and left me behind?" Sarah's voice was firm, like a lighthouse in the fog. "Maya, look at what you've told me. He looks at you like you're the only thing that matters. A CEO or not, he sees you. He doesn't see a barista. He sees the whole person, the heart, the soul. Don't let your fears blind you." Maya bit her lip, tears threatening but unspilled. She reached for her sketchbook, a worn companion that held the fragments of her dreams and heartbreaks. The pencil hovered over the blank page, trembling, before tracing tentative lines, outlining the silhouette of a man. It was Ethan, the man who had disrupted her carefully contained world. Her strokes grew confident, capturing his soft eyes, the gentle curve of his smile, the protective way he moved. That afternoon, Maya left her apartment clutching the sketchbook, walking to meet Sarah at their favorite cafe. The warm, familiar smell of roasted beans and vanilla comforted her. Sarah smiled knowingly as she handed Maya a small envelope. "It came for you," she said softly. Maya's hands shook as she opened it. Inside was a simple card, written in Ethan's neat handwriting. "I miss your worst espresso." A smile broke free, bittersweet and tender. Tears slipped down Maya's cheeks, hot and healing. That small, seemingly trivial message carried more weight than any grand declaration. It was a thread of connection, a sign he still cared, even if words failed. Maya folded the card carefully, tucking it in her pocket. But the next day another letter arrived, this time from a local gallery. Her paintings had been selected for an upcoming exhibition, a chance she had only dreamed of. Yet, mixed with excitement was a pang of frustration and confusion. She knew Ethan had submitted her work without telling her, a secret act of support that felt both loving and patronizing. Was this his way of showing care, or a reminder of the gulf between them? That night, Maya sat alone in her dimly lit apartment, staring at a half-finished canvas. The strokes on the canvas were tentative, as uncertain as her own heart. Was Ethan's kindness real, or a shield to keep her close while keeping his distance? Could she trust him, or was this just another form of pity disguised as affection? Meanwhile, miles away, Ethan sat in the quiet of his home, holding a painting Emma had made, a messy but vibrant depiction of a family under a big sun. He traced the lines with a gentle finger, thinking of Maya. He wanted her to see not just the CEO, but the man who cared deeply for his children and, quietly, for her. One evening, Ethan's phone buzzed. He hesitated, then called Maya. "Emma wants to learn how to paint," he said softly. "Could you teach her? She looks up to you." Maya's heart fluttered. "I'd love to," she replied. Suddenly, she wasn't just an outsider in Ethan's world. She was becoming part of it, weaving her own story into his children's lives. The next morning, sunlight poured through the windows of Bean and Brush, turning the cafe into a golden sanctuary. Maya held Ethan's card in her hands, the words warming her from within. She looked out the window as customers trickled in, the world outside bright and full of promise. For the first time in weeks, the knot of fear in her chest loosened. The distance between their worlds felt a little smaller now, bridged by shared hope, whispered dreams, and the fragile courage to believe in a second chance. The late afternoon sun dipped low, casting long shadows through the windows of Ethan's home. The familiar scent of paint and pencils filled the room where Maya sat on a small stool, her hands guiding Emma's tiny fingers over a brush. The little girl's eyes sparkled with excitement as colors blossomed on the canvas, but Maya's mind wandered beyond the strokes of paint to the world she had just stepped into, a world far more complicated than any gallery or cafe. As Maya glanced toward the hallway, she noticed Ethan quietly slipping into the dimly lit nursery. She followed silently and found him gently rocking Liam, his youngest son, who was restless and coughing softly. Ethan's eyes were rimmed with dark circles, his face marked by exhaustion and a vulnerability few had ever seen. It was a glimpse of the man behind the powerful CEO mask, a man worn down by sleepless nights, fears, and the relentless weight of responsibility. Later that evening, Maya heard Ethan speak in a low voice during a call with his assistant. "I'm scared," he confessed quietly, almost to himself. "I don't know how to open up to Maya. If she finds out about the lawsuit, about the mistake I made, how I almost lost everything, she'll walk away. She deserves better than this." Maya's heart clenched as she listened from a doorway, the heaviness of his fears mixing with her own doubts. She wanted to be strong for him, but she was afraid too, afraid that the man she was growing to care for might disappear once more, hidden behind walls of pride and pain. The next day, the tension between them finally broke. Sitting across from Ethan in the quiet living room, Maya's voice trembled, words spilling out before she could stop them. "Why did you hide all this from me? Did you think I wasn't good enough for the truth?" Ethan's gaze dropped, a flicker of pain crossing his features. "Maya, you make me want to be real, not just the cold CEO everyone expects. But I was afraid that if I showed you the real me, the broken parts, you would leave. I never wanted to lose you." Tears welled in Maya's eyes as Ethan began to share his story. "Years ago, I made a terrible decision. I fired an employee unfairly. The lawsuit nearly destroyed me, my reputation, my confidence. I shut myself away after that. It was easier to hide behind a mask than face the truth." Her own tears slipped down as she whispered, "I'm scared too. I've lost so much before. I thought if I let anyone in, I'd lose them." Without hesitation, they moved closer, arms wrapping around one another in a tight embrace. The warmth of their shared pain melted barriers, creating a fragile space of trust and understanding. Ethan reached into the room where Emma had left a drawing and brought it over. The picture was simple but heartfelt, a sketch of Maya with a cape, standing tall. "Emma says you're her hero," Ethan said softly. Maya's throat tightened with emotion. She cradled the drawing, feeling the weight of a new role, not just as a barista or artist, but as part of this family. Just then Liam toddled over, wrapping his small arms around her waist. "You tell superhero stories better than Dad," he giggled. Maya laughed, a genuine sound filled with newfound joy. The room seemed to brighten with the unspoken promise of belonging. Outside, the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink. Through the window, Maya and Ethan stood side by side, gazing out into the fading light. Words were unnecessary. They shared a moment of quiet understanding, the beginning of healing beneath the warmth of the setting sun. The gallery buzzed softly with the murmur of admirers as Maya's paintings hung gracefully on pristine white walls. The subtle lighting highlighted every brushstroke, every shade of color in her work, drawing people closer to the emotions she had poured onto each canvas. For the first time in years, Maya felt her art was not just a secret held in a sketchbook, but a voice that could be heard, a story that demanded attention. Behind the scenes, Ethan watched from a distance, pride hidden beneath his composed exterior. Unknown to Maya, he had quietly arranged a scholarship to support her artistic pursuits, a gift born not of obligation, but genuine belief in her talent and potential. He wanted to give her opportunities he had never had, to nurture the flame of her creativity without the barriers she had once faced. Maya's days soon shifted, and she accepted a new role as an art consultant at Luxwear. The company's walls, once filled with fashion designs, began to welcome her influence, bold colors and abstract patterns that reflected her unique perspective. Yet amidst the professional excitement, Maya grappled with her own self-doubt, wondering if she truly belonged in this world of affluence and high expectations. Meanwhile, Ethan's nights were restless. He questioned his worthiness, not just as a CEO struggling under the crushing weight of success, but as a man learning to open his heart. The demands of the empire he built often pulled him away from his children, and now from Maya, the woman who had gently begun to heal the wounds he thought were forever sealed. One morning, Maya arrived at her studio to find a new sketchbook resting on her desk. A simple note lay atop it, penned in Ethan's familiar handwriting. "Keep painting your dreams. Don't let them fade." Her lips curved into a grateful smile, and when their eyes met across the room later, an unspoken understanding passed between them, a shared promise to keep moving forward, together. Weeks later, Maya organized a painting workshop for children at Luxwear, inviting Emma and Liam to join. The room buzzed with laughter and paintbrushes dancing on canvas. Emma shyly approached Maya, pressing a carefully folded drawing into her hands. It was a family portrait, simple lines, warm colors, and in the center, Maya standing beside Ethan and the children. "You're part of my home now," Emma said softly. Maya's eyes glistened with tears as she held the gift close. In that moment, she realized her worth was no longer measured by her past mistakes or doubts, but by the love and acceptance she had found. Ethan watched quietly from the doorway, his heart swelling with affection. Seeing Maya with his children, nurturing their imaginations and dreams, he knew his feelings ran deeper than fear or hesitation. She was not just a part of their lives, she was becoming the heart of their family. During the workshop, Maya guided Emma in painting a superhero, a bright figure soaring through a colorful sky. Liam, ever the storyteller, spun a hilarious tale of a clumsy hero who saved the day with laughter and kindness. The room erupted with giggles, a chorus of joy and creativity that filled every corner. As the afternoon sun streamed through the windows, bathing the room in golden light, Maya felt a profound sense of healing. It was more than the colors on the canvas or the stories shared. It was the mending of hearts, the blending of lives, and the quiet certainty that love, like art, could transform even the deepest scars into something beautiful. In that warm glow, Maya knew that this was only the beginning of their masterpiece together. The sleek conference room at Luxware buzzed with tension as Ethan Caldwell stood before the board of directors. The polished mahogany table reflected the hard stares and folded arms of the executives who questioned his recent decisions, most notably the prominent role he had given Maya Larson within the company. Some whispered that his personal affection was blinding his judgment. Ethan's jaw tightened, his eyes scanning the room, meeting the cold gazes head-on. "I understand your concerns," he began steadily, "but this isn't favoritism. Maya brings a unique artistic vision that is already elevating our brand identity. Let me show you the data." A sleek presentation flickered to life, charts and graphs illustrating increased customer engagement, rising sales tied directly to campaigns infused with Maya's artful touch. The room shifted slightly as numbers spoke louder than skepticism. Inside, Ethan wrestled with more than just boardroom politics. He thought quietly, "This fight is bigger than Maya. It's for my children, for the legacy I want to leave, and for the man I'm still becoming." He had long battled his role as CEO with the yearning to be a better father and partner. Outside the sterile meeting room, Maya paced nervously. Doubts gnawed at her. Was this world really for her? Could she truly belong here, or was she an interloper on borrowed time? But when Ethan emerged, his steady gaze and quiet confidence melted some of her fears. Seeing him fight so hard made her believe, not just in him, but in their future together. That evening, Ethan invited Maya and his children to the park. The city's concrete softened beneath sprawling oaks and open skies, a sanctuary where laughter and innocence ruled. Emma and Liam dashed ahead, their joyous shouts blending with the rustling leaves. Kneeling beside Liam, Ethan bent down to tie the boy's sneaker, his hands gentle but sure. His eyes lifted to meet Maya's across the grassy field, a silent exchange of warmth and reassurance. Though no words were spoken, the tenderness in his gaze spoke volumes. Maya's heart fluttered, wanting to voice the feelings growing within her, but unsure if the moment was right. Instead, she smiled, catching the unspoken promise in Ethan's eyes, a promise of honesty, patience, and something more. Nearby, Emma approached Maya shyly, clutching a crumpled sketch. "I want to be a painter, like you," she whispered, eyes bright with hope. "Will you teach me? I want to paint, just like you." Maya wrapped her arms around Emma in a warm embrace. The feeling of holding this little girl, so full of dreams and trust, stirred something maternal deep within her. In that moment, she wasn't just an artist or a barista anymore. She was family. As the sun dipped lower, casting golden light over the park, a colorful kite soared high against the sky, carried by a steady breeze. It danced freely, untethered yet purposeful, a symbol of the newfound freedom and possibilities for Maya, Ethan, and the family they were building together. In the gentle sway of the afternoon, beneath the vast open sky, hope took flight. The holiday spirit wrapped Luxware in a cozy glow as December deepened, and the company's headquarters shimmered with festive lights. Maya, now a confident art consultant, moved through the bustling corridors with a radiant smile, her golden hair catching the soft glow of the Christmas decorations that twinkled overhead. Thanks to the scholarship Ethan had quietly arranged, she had resumed her art studies, refining her craft and embracing a future once clouded by doubt. Tonight was the company's annual Christmas event, transformed into a celebration of creativity and family. Maya stood alongside Emma and Liam in a spacious hall where a large canvas awaited their touch. Together, they began painting a vibrant mural titled Family, their brushes weaving stories of love, hope, and new beginnings. The children laughed as colors blended, each stroke a testament to the bond that had grown between them. Ethan arrived, his presence calm yet commanding as he approached the trio. He smiled warmly, watching Maya guide the children's hands across the canvas. "Maya, you and the kids have made this world of mine so much brighter," he said softly, his voice carrying the depth of a man who had found more than just success in life. As the mural took shape, the room filled with warmth and the soft hum of holiday music. Later, Ethan led Maya, Emma, and Liam out into the crisp night air toward the city's Christmas square, where twinkling lights and festive cheer created a magical backdrop. Taking Maya's hand gently, Ethan looked into her eyes with a tenderness that made her heart flutter. "Maya, I've loved you since the very first messy espresso you made for me. You gave me and my children a second chance at life and love. I want to be by your side, not as a CEO, but as the man who belongs to you and our family." Tears shimmered in Maya's eyes as she whispered back, "Ethan, I love you too. You showed me that art and love can heal even the deepest wounds." Their lips met beneath the sparkling lights, a kiss filled with promise and the hope of forever. Nearby, Emma and Liam cheered, their joy echoing through the festive air. Afterward, Ethan pulled a small gift from his coat pocket, a simple empty picture frame. "Here," he said, "paint the future we'll create together." Maya hugged the frame close, her smile radiant with happiness and certainty. As they wandered through the square, Liam animatedly told a story about Super Maya saving his dad from danger, his eyes wide with excitement. Emma shyly showed Maya a drawing she had made of all four of them, proudly declaring, "You're my superhero, Mom." Maya's heart swelled as she embraced them both, feeling the fullness of a family forged not just by blood, but by love and shared dreams. The Christmas lights glittered overhead like stars come to earth, reflecting the joy and warmth of a family beginning a new chapter. In the days that followed, Luxware launched Art for All, a foundation dedicated to supporting children's artistic dreams, inspired by Maya's journey and Ethan's vision. Together, Maya and Ethan built a world where creativity and compassion healed hearts, proving that through art and love, even the deepest scars could become masterpieces of hope. Thank you for joining us on this heartfelt journey of love, resilience, and healing. If Maya and Ethan's story touched your soul and reminded you of the power of trust, second chances, and the magic of art, please subscribe to Soul-Stirring Stories for more real-life tales that inspire and uplift.